Welcome to an Impact Wrestling just before Victory Road. Now I'm going to go through the show, not going to take long, and I'm going to give my thoughts about the ratings. Now normally I don't do that, but due to the fact this is football season, if you don't like the ratings, it's not my problem. Football season is here. Across the board, all wrestling has dropped. WWE, AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, anything in America, anything in the States, they drop because of football. There's no way to deny it. You can't hide it, particularly that the World Series also for baseball is going on at the same time. It's only a matter of time. It had to happen. So I'll give you my thoughts on it. But let's get to the beginning. Now this match I think could have been on Victory Road, and that's Gunther versus Brian Myers for the Digital Media Championship in a ladder match. They wanted this show to mean something, so they decided to do a ladder match at the very opening of the show. Now, Gunther his mouth got busted open when you got a high knee from Brian. Let me paint you a picture. The gargoyle spear that he normally does got stopped by a Brian Myers because Brian decided to do an upward knee straight to the face. Pretty much after that, he was busted open. I even thought because of his beard, he might have lost a tooth and it was hanging off of his beard. I'm not saying it was, but whatever that was on his beard, it was big. It was somewhat white unless it was spit mixed with blood. It looked nasty. But here's the thing. Gunther didn't win. Brian retained. By taping up Gunther's leg, I believe this is one of the shots I'm going to put is in my face. Guys, I'm not telling you that Brian is the best wrestler. I'm not telling you that he did the right thing. I'm not telling you he did the wrong thing. This is about Gunther. What does Impact think of Gunther? What did they think of this guy? He just went through a feud with a Brian Myers for the Digital Media Championship, the lowest tier, remember, Digital Media, X Division, World title. He just fought here. Does that mean he's moving on to the X Division? I don't know. It's going to depend if they're going to book him right, particularly after the triple threat revolver match that will be pretty much happening on this Victory Road. I have no idea. I don't know what's going to happen to him going into Bound for Glory either. Because between Bound for Glory and this Victory Road, there's a lot of gap with at least a couple of weeks to a month to go. So I don't know what they're going to do with him. Is he done? I don't know. Are they going to book him better? I don't know. Is his contract finished? I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. Grace versus Ziggy Dice. I know one of my subscribers. You know who you are, my friend. I know it takes several days before you get to see this. Due to the fact, I believe you live in Australia. So you don't always have the time since you're working. You don't get the time to see this kind of stuff. But I know you love Ziggy. I know you love Swinger. And I know you're going to be truly happy that they got on TV and they got a match. And Grace annihilated the guy. And this will be leading into the Max of the Impaler, which pretty much she had her moment. Not really that she was there, but the vid pack with the Father Mitchell, the Sinister Miniature. Well, I'm sorry, I botched. You know the reason why I botched. NWA gave the footage. No problem. NWA has no problem working with Impact Wrestling. But when will they work with Impact Wrestling? Because in honesty, I would like to see a little more of Impact working with I know not many people are going to be happy about that, but NWA, they need something. Impact, they need something. They need something. And I know that new people coming in, it's not enough. I'm just saying. But to the guy that watches this, you know this was going to happen. Ziggy was going to be destroyed by a Jordan Grace, and she annihilated him. But I botched again because when she put him through the damn Grace driver, you can honestly see how truly strong this woman is. Look, Ziggy is not 120, 130 pounds. The guy's over 200, maybe 220, 230. Grace lifted his ass up, flipped his ass around, and drove him into the damn mat. If anybody truly believes that any of the women that is on the roster is on the level of Jordynne Grace, you got another thing coming. Look, take nothing away from Havoc. She's strong. Nothing compared to Jordynne Grace. Marsha Slamovich. Nothing compared to Jordynne Grace. And if you love her, it's not the point. Jordynne is stronger than her. And I know that's not what makes a full pro wrestler, but this is what's going to make the match. You're going to have a very physical wrestler like a Marsha Slamovich compared to a very powerful wrestler who physically has been recognized as a champion from her home state twice. This is what's going to make the match. It's not going to be, no, it won't be the Marsha. It won't be. It's going to have to be Jordynne who's going to have to make it work because Jordynne's been there longer. Jordynne is more powerful. And if she's going to put over Marsha Slamovich, she's going to have to make sure her strength is right and how she sells. It's not going to be Marsha. It's not about Marsha selling for Jordynne. It's going to be Jordynne selling for Marsha. And I say again, Marsha is not Goldberg. Jordynne is Goldberg. And now Jordynne, if she's going to drop the damn title, which I don't believe she will need to make it look good at Bound for Glory. If I made it sound like it's Victory Road, I'm sorry. It's not. Impaler is at Victory Road. And she will have to make it look good with Maxine Paler. She will. At Bound for Glory, that means if she drops it, she's going to have to make the power look right, as well as selling for Marsha look right. But do I believe she's going to sell? No. And what I'm right about, Marsha will be here, and then she's going to drop right here again. You know why? That's how Impact books their women. And men for that matter. Let's move on. We got a Fatal 5-Way leading into tomorrow's. Why? Why are we doing a Fatal 5-Way when tomorrow we're going to have the Triple Threat Revolver, which covers practically everyone in this match? Almost everyone in this match is being covered in that match over there. What is the point of doing a double match? Why? Why? I do not understand. This was stupid. Yes, Black Taurus won. And I'm glad to see Black Taurus won. But it's stupid. It's stupid. This was a stupid match to do. Putting almost everybody or everyone in that match that's at the Triple Threat Revolver here. This was dumb. It's double booking. It's dumb. I'm just saying. I know people say, well, you don't know who's going to win. It could be Mia Yim that's going to win. Yes, it could be. It could be Black Taurus. It could be Trey again. I doubt it's Alex Zane. And let's be honest. This is the truth. I don't expect the Laredo Kid to win. And that's it. I do believe he's in the match too. I can't remember offhand all the people, but I know Mia's in there. I know Black Taurus, I believe, is in there. I think he's in the match, unless it's going to be Kenny King, who's going to be switching with Black Taurus. I don't exactly remember. But generally speaking, almost everyone that's going to be in that match is here. That was stupid. Now, let's do a little bit of the video packages and video segments. Let me give it to you like this. Violence by Design. You wonder where they're going. You got at least a dozen people that's in the field with Eric Young and Diener going like this and then getting their asses handed to them, including a black woman who gets nailed by the back. I botched because she got nailed hard by Eric Young in the back of the head. What does this mean? Are they going to have all those people there from now on in Impact Wrestling? Are they going to use all those people? Are they going to use one of them? Are they going to use maybe the black woman and maybe one guy there that's white or black or whatever? Who is going to be in Violence by Design? Or is it still going to be exactly as I think it's going to be? They wiped out a dozen people, including one black woman. which I know not everyone's going to be fond of because they're going to say that's being sexist when it's not. If she gets nailed in the back of the head by a guy, that's not being sexist, that's equality. She wants to be in the segment. They want to make men and women have the same rights in wrestling. She's going to get her ass handed to her like a Mia Yim. That's what she gets. That's what she deserves if she wants to be equal to men. You want it all to be the same, then let their asses get whooped. Just like any man's going to get whooped and get hurt. Just like any man's going to get hurt for real. But is that going to be them? Or is it going to still be Diener and Eric alone? And maybe later they'll pick someone to replace Joe Dorling, who is still probably going through chemotherapy at this time. Either radiation or chemo. One of the two. So that's what we got to be the question of. Which one is it? I don't know. Let's move on to... Let me give it to you. Gazelle Shaw. I think I'll put her in my face. It'll be one of the few shots I'm going to use. Gazelle Shaw. Wearing something to show her titties. Trying to look as sexy as possible. Trying to look as menacing as possible. And trying to make this mean something for Victory Road. Now, what did she accomplish? Did she make it sound important talking about a Mickie James, being that this could be her last run if she gets beaten by her? Did she do it effectively? Yes. Did she try to make herself marketable, appealing, that she could be believable beating a Mickie James? Somewhat. Did she try to use her sexuality, showing a little bit of cleavage and some of her titty, to basically show that she's sexual? Yes. But the question is, did all of these work in that damn vid pack? Technically, yes. But to be honest, I don't believe it. There is no way that I believe that a Mickie James is going to job on a damn Impact Plus show and it'll be over before Bound for Glory. I expect her to make it all the way to Bound for Glory and beat somebody that will be a number one contender for that title going after that, which will probably a week or two after that, she will get her opportunity to pretty much get the title on a regular Impact show, because that's the way they're going to do it. Unless she'll get her shot at another Impact Plus show by the end of the year, this is what we're going to get. I just do not believe, even though Shaw did a decent job trying to say how important it was for Mickie to get this done, but once she leaves, she can be the mother she wants to be, the best mother in the world, the best wife in the world. On her saying that she's one of the best quintessential divas, that this will make her great, and being able to pass the torch to her. She didn't say as a trans woman, but that's what she did. And her sexuality. She wanted to wear a dress that showed that she was a quintessential diva, trying to show as much titty as possible and show her looks. She wanted to show that she's marketable, appealing. For some people, they'll say she's very appealing. Some won't. It's up to you. That's what I had to say. Now, let's get to Tasha Steele with, well, when we saw the interview with Tasha and Savannah, saying they want to get a piece of Killer Kelly. They leave Gina. They walk. You see Savannah disappear, and then you see the killer right in front of a talking, not paying attention behind her, seeing Savannah is still behind her. Tasha Steele. When it's done, she says, "You will see me tomorrow, my time. My time is tomorrow." I'm going to tell you this. Whether Marsha Samovich has a match tomorrow or not, doesn't matter. I feel way more from Killer Kelly than Marsha. I don't care that everyone keeps saying everyone loves Marsha Samovich. It don't matter. We go by way they booked her. This is what nobody wants to listen to. They're going by what she did before she came to Impact Wrestling. I'm telling you what she has accomplished on Impact Wrestling. They gave her nothing to work with. Due to the war, she could not use her proper music. She could not use the proper video package on Titantron to go with her music, and then they didn't do anything with her. No matter how many times people say she destroyed people, there are points where she needs to be doing something else. Look at what happened with Goldberg in WCW so many years ago. They didn't just let him destroy people. He was seen in the back. They tried to interview him. He refused to be interviewed. He would walk away. We would see him make people scared. And yes, they finally pulled the trigger and started having her start approaching people on the main roster. Yes, they gave her a stick where she would give a person a folder with their picture crossed out and looking like blood. Yes, but what messed it up severely was when you let Jordan Grace do it right back at her. It's not the point that it would be obvious to do it. It's the point they shouldn't have done it in the first place. This is supposed to be about Marsha truly looking dominant. And to be honest, with so many short matches, she never looked dominant. She just looked like she's been allowed to kill people. That one match she had, finally showing what she can do, showed me a couple of things. One, she's not a bad wrestler. Two, she does get tanked easily. So no matter what you think, when she comes from the indies, it's going to count on how they book her on the damn show and how she learns to adapt to that show and tries to improve herself. And what have I seen? Nothing yet. And how many months she's been on the roster for what amount they show her? Tell me I'm wrong. Give me a reason why I'm wrong. Give me a reason why I should be heavily invested in her when Killer Kelly, who's been there shorter than her, it's not about how sexual she's been. It's about they showed her the vid pack. They showed her in the back. She has proven herself, at least she can talk, that she can go in the ring, and that she being put up against at least Tasha Steelz and Savannah Evans, she can show that she means something. I'm just saying. PCO versus Heath in a street fight. Now, again, we get Eddie Edwards complaining about PCO when the problem here with me, this is me. Maybe it's due to the fact I don't see BTI. That's probably what's causing it, due to the fact of, excuse me, if they're doing it on BTI, because they mostly show replays and maybe one match, maybe two, and some segments that are exclusive to BTI, that's a good possibility. I am missing it. Where have we seen the dissension of PCO? We haven't seen it on the main roster. That's what a major issue is for me personally. If PCO had been losing constantly and has not been listening to an Eddie Edwards or even Vincent for that matter, I would believe it. But here's the problem. If it's done on BTI, the majority of the time, that's my problem. Because I don't always have the time to look at BTI. And I always tend to either I don't have the time or I forget. So if you tell me that they're showing PCO being a rebel like a Heath and he's not listening, all right. Then I can change my perceptive. You see I'm botching because I bet you it hasn't happened on BTI. I could be wrong, but I bet you it hasn't happened. We have not seen segments of PCO going against pretty much Honor No More. I don't think they've done it. And if they haven't done it, why would I believe in Eddie Edwards that he can't trust PCO when, yeah, he's lost a couple of matches, but he's won the most important ones? Tell me I'm wrong. Give me a reason. Give me a reason. Please. Now, of course, he won this. And then in between that, they tried to mess with him. And also Josh and Swan, they came out to help. So he did win. But I still don't believe PCO has been basically against Honor No More. But I say this again, and I'm not saying this will happen, but I'm saying this again. The way that Heath has acted, saying that I am the rebel, I don't need your ass, but we need to be on the same page, contradicting. I'm telling you right now, if I'm wrong, fine, I'm wrong. This is just a theory. But the way they're talking, this could be a deflection when it comes to Josh. It could be that Heath, because of the way he's acting, seeing that both Josh and Swan are questioning him, and he's having problems with Scott because he wants to get his hands on Honor No More, but then he must have to go through hoops to do it more than anybody else. He could turn. I'm just saying. Final match, which will be Aussie Open versus Motor City Machine. Guys, I botched on purpose. There's a reason why I botched with Aussie Open versus the Motor City Machine Guns. We saw on AEW TV the Motor City Machine Guns holding back. They were not being the Motor City Machine Guns. They weren't. You could tell they were trying to be characters more than they were trying to wrestle. JD noticed it. Just Alex noticed it. They said this was just an okay match. Which, I don't remember if Just Alex said that. I've seen the Machine Guns for years. This is the best they can do. But JD said, I've never seen the Machine Guns. I've heard of them, but when I see it, they just seem mediocre. I noticed it. That they were not being the Machine Guns. When you look at this match, halfway through the match, they were doing exactly what they were doing on AEW TV. They may have won the match, yes. But when you literally look at that match, look at it, they were not wrestling like they normally do. The Motor City Machine Guns were not wrestling like they normally do. I don't know why. Could it be because they wanted to make Aussie Open look really good? Could it be that there's something going on that we don't know? I'm telling you, right now, I've watched the product for 10 years. I've seen the Guns before they left, and I've seen the Guns when they came back. And I'm telling you right now, there's something off. It may not be very noticeable by everybody, but I'm telling you there's something off. Now, finally, the contract signing. All right, Signed in Blood will work. I think that's the best title I put up. We got Macklin, Moose, and a late arriving Sami Callihan. I do believe that was done to give Macklin and Moose the moments to talk separately, which makes sense. Moose making it very clear that Macklin, yeah, he's been a soldier, but he doesn't know what it means to really be in that type of match and to go up against a wrestling god. You don't know nothing. And Macklin said, don't even come close to thinking you know what it's like to be in my shoes. Don't even try it. I shouldn't even be here. And if I am here, I am surprised I have all 4 limbs. You don't know what true death is. He doesn't say that, but that's what I'm saying. This is not just going to be an ordinary match or barbed wire massacre match. This is going to be mayhem. I kind of don't agree with what he used there. I don't know if he came up with that idea of saying mayhem or if it was somebody in the back, one of the writers who gave it to him. Honestly, I think he should have said, this is not going to be at all about a barbed wire match or a barbed wire massacre match. This is going to be what war is. I'm going to show you true war. I think that's what he should have done. As a former soldier, he needs to let people understand when it comes to war. No civilian, unless they're trapped in the battle zone, understands what it means to have either a knife, a rock, or a gun and have to use it against somebody. And what do I mean by that? In war, it doesn't matter if it's modern warfare or if 200 years ago. If you got a knife, if you got a gun, or if you got a rock in your hand, it's a weapon that could be used to kill somebody. Don't ever think that people, even in modern times, if they're in a corner, they're out of ammunition and they got an enemy coming at them with a knife, they won't take a rock, bash their brains in and kills them. That's what this comes down to. He should have made it about war. This should be about Macklin showing what true soldiers and wars must go through, because we have the greatest and most horrible responsibility. We are to defend our people. And this is what I understand about, and as a soldier, any soldiers who are watching this, male or female, thank you. I'm not like a pacifist. I don't want to see anyone die. But I understand what war is. I do. And the purpose of a soldier is to defend his people or her people, but hope that they never need to. That is what a true soldier is. To be there and hope you never need to. That's what a true soldier is there for. And many pacifists do not understand the concept of what a real soldier is. They see somebody as a warmonger. But a real soldier is not a warmonger if they've been trained correctly. They are there only if they need to be, not to go and do it. Usually the leaders do that, and they have to follow those orders. But a real soldier is to defend, not to attack. That's their real job. I mean, not only the leaders can make them do it, but you get my point. That is what I think Macklin should have done. Now, of course, Sammy came out and he said, I got both your asses. I got both your asses to do exactly what I want. I'm pulling the strings. You both have become exactly what I want. This hurts your throat. You got exactly what you need. You're both against each other, and now the death machine is going to kill you. He doesn't say it like that, but pretty much he gets it. And when he's ordered to sign the contract by Macklin, said, sign the damn contract, he pulls out of his pocket a barbed wire covered pen. And let me crank it back first. First, the contract is pushed over by Macklin with the pen. He says, I'm not using your pen. I'm using mine. It's a barbed wired supposedly pen. He's about to use it until Macklin whacks him in the head with the pen that was in the original contract. Then there's a fight. Macklin and Moose destroy a Sammy, but then when Macklin's about to try and nail Sammy again, you got Moose spearing him. So now, at the end of it all, once Moose gets his comeuppance from a Sammy, we get Sammy, clearly bloodied, and uses his own blood to sign the contract. I believe I'll put that in my face. I think that's 4 or 5 images. I'm not sure if I'm going to put all the images in. I'm going to put in some. But the point of this is that they wanted to make this important. They wanted the blood to be there to show that they are dedicated to making the best product. Do I believe this is going to be a good show? And that's Victory Road. Maybe. Just seeing Sammy bloodied does not mean we are getting a great show. We could, but it doesn't mean we will. Now, the one thing I want to make clear, at this point in time, as I said in the opening of the show, we currently are in football season. Either it's the beginnings of it, or we're already full-blown. I haven't watched football in so long because I used to love football, but I forgot it. I literally forgotten football. Like I've forgotten baseball. It's been so long since I cared about baseball or football. But we're almost at the end, nearing the World Series right now. And we're either beginning football season or at the end of football season. I mean, not the end, but we're the beginnings of the setup for football going into actual football. So all the ratings have dropped. But when it came to Impact, they took a massive hit. They were at one time, I think, 3 weeks ago or 4. They were 130,000 or 120. The last readings before this one was 68,000. Before that was 44,000, I believe. Hear me again. I say about 3 weeks ago, they were at 44,000. I believe this week, last week came, no, I think 5 weeks ago, they were 130,000. I believe so. I believe. 3 weeks ago, they dropped from 130,000 to about maybe 44,000. They came up the week before that to 60,000, and last week was 66,000. I have no idea what we're going to have this week because they're going to add in Victory Road along with Impact. It's going to be within the same week, so they may have 2 ratings. One for Victory and adding into this Impact. I'm not saying they're going to make them one, but you know what I mean. The build up to going into Victory Road. They'll probably bring that up. I have no idea what the ratings are going to be. And I know not many people care about ratings. You're being in the 90s. Well, duh, you got to remember, it's still in the networks. And so does Anthem. Remember, it doesn't make a difference what you think. It makes a difference what the network thinks that is connected to Anthem. Anthem owns Impact Wrestling. And right now, Impact Wrestling sucks on Access TV. They have never been able to do barely 200,000. Barely. barely done 200,000 at their height. That was right around the time when Kenny Omega showed up along with AEW. That was the highest they've ever been. And that was January or February of 2020, I believe. They are screwed as long as they on Access TV. And I have heard the rumors of trying to find another network. But to be honest, they need another network. They need better management. I know they've already gotten rid of, I think a few people departed, or they fired a couple of people. I know D'Lo Brown is not there. I know one of the people who worked for WWE when it came to certain aspects of their company has now come in. I'm not telling you that this will not improve everything and that they won't finally find a new network that might be better for them. I'm not telling you that. Only thing I am telling you what is in front of me right now. It is not a great product. Yes, the camera work has gotten better. Yes, the lighting is still messy due to the fact of the venues they go in. The problem major is the writing and the talent. You can't keep the talent. It doesn't make a difference what few talents you sign. The majority of the talent that are being shown in the TV show, Impact Wrestling and BTI, they don't stay long enough to make long-term booking. That's the major issue. And that's Impact's fault. Impact caused that. It's not just because the talent doesn't stay long enough or the talent doesn't want to sign. It's that Impact has to want long-term booking. Not just for one person. They did 6 months with Josh Alexander, whether you like him or not. He's one of the few that got it next to Moose. Who else has gotten long-term booking in the last 5 to 6 years? Eddie Edwards? Maybe Sami Callihan. You know they went all in when it came to Tessa Blanchard. They went balls deep with her. And what happened when it came to Tessa? And not even against Tessa Blanchard. I'm not. They put all their eggs in a basket with her. And when the pandemic happened, and the only thing they needed from her were vignettes or recordings, she didn't want to do it. They let Sami Callihan bend his ass over, stick a stick up by Tessa Blanchard, swirl it around and said, thank you for letting me have what I want. Pull it out. And he said, honey, you did a good job. Go and do it again. And that's what happened. And then they had to fire her ass. I am telling you, Impact needs a change. Now, do I hate Impact as a company in a whole? No. And I want to make it clear when you see this video, because I know someone's going to say something below. I don't believe the 100% all of the management is bad, but there's enough of them that they're not doing correctly. They're not willing to do long-term booking. They're not willing to do any heavy hiring. And even though I know Anthem is the one who runs them, there are still people who run the original company before Anthem purchased them that are still there, and they're still making those decisions generally. Yes, Anthem will tell them what they need when they believe they need it, but I'm telling you right now, there must be a change. Hopefully, by next year with the new people, at least a few people that are coming in, hopefully it'll be better. Hopefully they will find themselves a new network. And I don't have to be so damn negative. But I'm telling you the truth, and I'd rather be honest, and you keep thinking I'm negative, and tell you what's in front of you, than lie. But that's just me. Peace.